Hello everyone, once again I welcome you all at Nagesh Karzgi Orchid School TV channel. Students, today we are going to learn about the second part of the lesson Animal Life. And as you know that in our previous session we studied some part of the lesson. In that we studied animal habitat, different body coverings in different animals. Also we learn about different methods of eating, that is different eating methods in animals. On the basis of that, three groups of animals, that are herbivorous animals, carnivorous animals and omnivorous animals. And now in our today's session we are going to learn about the remaining part of the lesson, that is different methods of breathing in animals, different methods of moving in animals, and the new term, that is migration. And you know that in our previous session we just started with the point, that is different methods of breathing in animals. But once again we have to study about that in short. See, first of all, see what are the different methods of breathing in animals. Students, as we know that in order to stay alive, animals have to breathe continuously. Animals have to breathe continuously to stay alive, and animals breathe in different ways. Animals breathe in different ways. So here are the some methods of breathing in animals, that are some animals breathe through lungs, some animals breathe through moist skin, some animals breathe through body holes, and some animals breathe through gills. And the breathing contains two processes called as inhalation and the other one is the exhalation. And in the process of inhalation, what we do? We inhale or takes the oxygen in. What we do? We inhale or takes the oxygen in from the air, and at the same time we use that air to release the energy from the food. And at the same time in the exhalation, inhalation and exhalation are common processes or that are happening at the same time. At the same time in the exhalation, carbon dioxide is breathed out. In inhalation, what we do? We take oxygen, and in the exhalation we throw out the carbon dioxide, or carbon dioxide is breathed out or given out, that is produced by our body. But when we look towards the different animals, we will find that the methods of breathing is different in different animals. Why? Because different animals adapted their body according to their surroundings. Some animals live in water, some animals live on land. According to that, their body has adapted, and according to their surroundings in that they live, and according to the structure of their body, different animals breathe in different ways. For examples, here we see that some animals breathe through lungs, some animals breathe through moist skin, some animals breathe through body holes, and some animals breathe through gills. Now let us see about them one by one in detail. First of all, we have to see about that animals which breathe through lungs. First of all, we have to see that animals which breathe through the lungs. As you know that animals like mammals, what are mammals? Mammals are the animals who give birth to the babies and feed their babies on their own milk. So that mammals, birds and reptiles breathe through their lungs, and they have two lungs. They have two lungs which are connected by a breathing tube. That two lungs are connected by a breathing tube to the nostrils. You know that nostrils are the breathing holes in the nose. What are the nostrils? Nostrils are the breathing holes in the nose, and such animals breathe the air through the nostrils and fills the lungs. Such animals like mammals, birds and reptiles breathe the air. Breathe the air means they breathe the oxygen through the nostrils and fills their lungs. And When the air enters in the lungs, what happens to the lungs? The lungs become bigger. The lungs become bigger, and at the time of the lungs exchanging the oxygen in inhaled air with the carbon dioxide that is produced in the body, then the air is breathed out or given out through the nostrils. Here you can see the picture of the human breathing system. This is the human breathing system. In first picture you can see the process of inhalation, in which we take oxygen in through the nostril. At that time what happens? Lungs increases their size, and at the same time when we exhale or throw out the carbon dioxide which is produced by our body, that is also we throw through the nostrils. So in this way animals breathe through lungs. This is the breathing system or breathing method through the lungs. Now see about the next method of breathing in animals, that is through moist skin. Animals that breathe through moist skin. As we know that animals like earthworm, earthworm is the animal which is found in farm or in the soil, that breathes through its moist skin. Why? Because it don't have lungs to breathe. This is the very smaller animal, smallest animal, and it don't earthworm don't have a lungs to breathe, but instead of lungs the earthworm have moist skin. Here you can see in this picture, this is the earthworm and the skin of earthworm, moist skin. This is the moist skin of earthworm. So with the help of the moist skin it breathe, and in the same way frog also breathe through the moist skin. As we know that frog is an amphibian animal. Frog is an amphibian animal. It can live in water also and on land also, and when it is in the water it breathes through their moist skin, but when the frog is on the land, the frog breathes through its lungs. So in two ways frog can breathe, either through moist skin or through lungs. That two systems are present in the body of frogs. They can breathe in water also and on land also. Now once again you can see, this is the picture of earthworm. This is the picture of earthworm which breathe through its moist skin. Now, so this is the breathing system or the method of breathing through moist skin. Now see about some animals that breathe through body holes. Some animals that breathe through body holes. Animals like insects, they also need to breathe air, but they don't have the moist skin or they don't have lungs to breathe, but instead of the lungs they have small holes on their body. What they have? They have small holes on their body called as spiracles. Insects, so insects breathe through tiny holes on their bodies called as spiracles. Keep that in mind. Spiracles. Spiracles are the holes that are present on the body of insect which helps them to breathe. That means animals like insects breathe air through the spiracles. It means insect breathe through tiny holes called as spiracles on both sides of their body. Insects have holes on their both sides of their body, and the air that enters reaches all parts of the body through small tubes called breathing tubes. Now in your textbook you can see the picture of grasshopper, but here is the picture of housefly. This is also an insect. That houseflies also breathe through body holes, and in your textbook you can see the picture of grasshopper and holes present on that. So that grasshopper uses that spiracles to breathe the air or to give out the carbon dioxide. So this is the breathing through body holes. Now See about the next type of animals which breathe through gills. Which breathe through gills. Gills are the special organs that is found in water animals. This is very important adaptation in water animals and body organ in water animals, which help them to breathe in the water. And some animals like fish, some water animals like fish, tadpoles, prawns, and most animals that live in water like crab, turtles, etc. breathe the air. Breathe the air means breathe the oxygen that is dissolved in water. As we know that water contains oxygen and oxygen can dissolve in water. So, water animals like fish, tadpoles, prawns, and most animals that live in water breathe the air or breathe the oxygen that is dissolved in water. So, animals which live in water have gills. Animals which live in water have gills instead of lungs. They don't have spiracles, they don't have lungs, but they have gills instead of lungs. So, these animals breathe the oxygen that is dissolved in the water with the help of gills, and at the time of breathing they take in water through their mouth. Here you can see this is the picture of fish and this is the mouth of fish. At the time of breathing the fish takes water through their mouth, and these are the gills. These are the gills present on the body of fish. As the water passes over the gills, here from here, as the water passes over the gills, the dissolved oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. See, this is the picture of fish in which you can see the gills. So, these are the some methods of breathing, like breathing through lungs, breathing through some body holes, breathing through spiracles and gills. Now, let us see about the different methods of moving in animals, like different eating habits, different methods of breathing, methods of moving are also different in animals. But before learning this point, we must have to know about that why the animals move from one place to other. What is the reason behind that? So, students, we learned about that in the previous lesson, that animals move in search of food and find the shelter from heat, shelter from rain and cold, and sometimes they also move to escape or to protect themselves from their enemies, and that means they move for different reasons. They move for different reasons in different ways. So, the methods of movement are also different. For example, some animals like tortoise and snails move very slowly. Their movement is very slowly, while some animals like panther, cheetah, you know that they move very fast. Why? Because they are good runners and they move very fast, and some animals move over small distances. Some animals move over very small distances and some move over long distances, like Arctic tern. Arctic tern is the bird which travels the longest distance. It means there are different methods of moving in animals, and on the basis of their movement, animals are being divided into three types, that are animals that move on land. Second type of the animal is that animals that fly, and third one is that animals that swim. First one is animal that move on land, second animals that fly, and third one is the animals that swim. So, these are the three types of animals according to different methods of moving. Now, let us see about them one by one in detail. So, first of all we will see about the animals that move on land. So, many animals living on land, many animals that live on land or living on land move with the help of their limbs. Limbs means legs. And animals such as lions, tigers, elephants and many other animals walk on four limbs, walk on their four limbs. So, out of that four legs, the front limbs are called the forelimbs. The front legs, as we know that animals have four legs and they move, they walk with the help of their four legs. Out of that four legs, the front two limbs are called the forelimbs and the ones that are behind are the hind limbs. Forelimbs and hind limbs. Forelimbs means front legs and hind means behind legs. So, now let us study about how the limbs and hind limbs help them to move in different ways. That work of forelimbs and hind limbs are different and they are helpful in different way. So, let us see how they are useful for animals in different ways on land. So, the first one that we have are good runners. Now, when you see the animals such as cheetahs, horses, gazelles and zebras, when you see the animals such as cheetahs, horses, gazelles and zebras are running fast on the land. They are running fast on the land. So, they are called as good runners. And they can run fast on the land because they have strong and muscular legs. Their legs are very strong and muscular, which help them to run fast on the land. Here you can see the picture of cheetah and this is the horse. You can see the legs of horse and cheetah that are very strong and muscular, which help them to run fast on the land. Now, the second one that we have are hoppers. As we know that some animals like rabbit and hares hop instead of walking, means they move from one place to another by jumping. How they move? They move from one place to another by jumping. So, that is why they are called as hopper. Why they are called as hopper? Because they move from one place to another by jumping, and that is why they are called as hopper. And when you see these animals, you can see their hind limbs are stronger. See, this is the rabbit and these are the hind limbs of that rabbit are very stronger and longer than the forelimb. These are the hind limbs which are stronger and longer than the forelimbs, which help them to hop on the land. So, that is why they can run fast or they can hop. Now, the next one is the animal which walk on two legs. As we know that, for example, humans, and we know that humans can stand upright and walk on two legs. Their forelimbs are modified into arms. Forelimbs means our hands are forelimbs, but hind limbs are modified into legs which help them to run. Hind limbs are actually our legs which are modified into legs and which help them to run, walk or stand straight. And the humans have special feature of hand and the thumb, and this arrangement of the thumb and other fingers helps humans to hold the things, to lift the things and to grab the things. So, this is the special feature that the human beings have, and no other animal can hold the things like humans with their hand. Now, to see towards the next one, that the animals which crawl. For this we have the examples of animals such as crocodiles, lizards, tortoises, which have very short forelimbs, and due to the short limbs they can unable to run, but instead of running they crawl to move from one place to another. Here this is the crocodile, in which you can see their legs are very short. These are the two legs, and another two legs are on the another side of their body, that they have 4 short legs which help them to crawl. And now see about the next method, that animals which don't have limbs. If you see some animals like snakes and worms, sometime before we see about the picture of the earthworm, that also, and the animals like snakes, they don't have legs at all. In this picture you can see the picture of snake. Snakes don't have any legs, so how they can move? If though they don't have the legs, still they move around. How? Because a snake moves by curving and straightening its body side to side. A snake moves by curving and straightening its body side to side. And if you see the worms, and worms shortens and elongates its body repeatedly to move, like the snakes and worms move by curving and straightening its body. Now we have to see about the some animals like insects, which move with the help of their 6 legs. We know that all insects such as an ant and beetles have 6 legs. Insects such as an ant and beetles have 6 legs, and they use their 6 legs for walking or moving from one place to another. And an insect such as grasshopper uses its powerful hind legs to hop. So this is all about the birds which move on land. Now let us see about the next group of animals which move by flying. Animals that fly. As we know that animals which move by flying have special organ. Animal which move by flying have special organ in them, and the organ which help them in flying is the wings. Birds use their wings to fly. So the birds use their wings to fly, and the wings are nothing but the modified forelimbs. Wings are nothing but the modified forelimbs of that animals. So the forelimbs are converted into the wings which help them in flying by moving the wings up and down. As well as birds push themselves through the air. Birds push themselves through the air. Also the bodies of birds are so small. If you see the sparrow, their bodies are very small, and also their body is light in weight, which make it easy for them to fly. So this is about the forelimbs. Then what about their hind limbs? As we know that all animals have four legs, but in birds front 2 legs are modified into wings. Then what about their hind limbs? Like other animals, birds also have hind limbs, and they use their hind limbs to perch on trees or to walk on land, as well as even for hop. So in this way birds uses their forelimbs and hind limbs. Now apart from the flying birds, here before that you can see the picture of that animals or the birds. These are the forelimbs that are modified into, these are the forelimbs that are modified into wings, and that are hind limbs. With the help of that hind limbs they can perch on trees or walk on land, as well as even hop or hold the things. So this is the insect. They also have they have smaller wings which help them to fly. Now apart from the flying birds, we also have groups of birds which cannot fly. For examples, the birds such as birds like ostrich, emu, cassowary and penguin cannot fly. Birds like ostrich, emu and penguin cannot fly. Why they cannot fly? Because their bodies are heavy and also their wings are poorly developed, and which do not allow them to fly. Now when we looking about the movement in insects, insects such as houseflies, mosquitoes, butterflies, moth and bees move by flying. Here you can see the picture of flying butterfly, move by flying. These insects can fly because they have wings. See the wings in the butterfly, these are the wings in butterfly, and light and small bodies. Their bodies are also very light and small, and due to small body weight they can fly in the air. So this is about the animals which can fly. Now see about the animals that can move by swimming. Animals such as fish, frogs, water boatmen, prawns and tadpoles, turtles, etc., which live in water have special features and also adapted themselves to live in water, which help them to swim. For example, frogs swim by moving their body and tail from side to side. Here you can see the movement of animals which can move by swimming. So frogs swim by moving their bodies and tail from side to side. Fishes have special organs called as fins. Here in this picture you can see the fins which help them to swim. They have three types of fins that are used to balance, change the direction and to stop. How they use their fins? They use their fins to balance themselves in the water, changing direction and to stop themselves. Then some fish also use their fins like oars. Oars means long stick used to row like a boat and to push the water to move forward. Then the frog. Here you can see the frog. This is the picture of frog. Frog also swim in the water. They swim by kicking the water with their webbed hind legs. Here you can see their hind legs. These are webbed hind legs. With the help of their hind legs, they kick the water and swim. And insects like water boatman also move by swimming. Water boatman uses its legs as oars to swim. Then the water animals like prawns and tadpoles, also move by swimming. Then penguins have wings that work like flippers. Also turtles which swim in water uses their flippers for swimming. And so this is about the different methods of movement in animals. Now in the next part of the topic we have to see about the animal that travel long distances and another interesting term, that is migration. So if you see that many of the people who live in very cold places like Nainital or Shimla go to warmer places during winters, and in the same way several animals that live in very cold places like Siberia, which is in Russia, come to warmer places like India during winters, and at that time they travel thousands of miles. When we think about them, we have to know the reasons behind their movement. So why that animals travel such a longer distances? They travel for many reasons, such as in the search of food, to find the warmth, and also they move to give birth to their young ones. Animals travel alone or sometimes they travel in large group also, and after the ending of winter again they go back to their original places. So now with this point of the lesson we complete with our sixth lesson, but very small part of the topic, that is migration, is left. We will cover that point in our next session. Till that you have to learn the topic properly and if you have any doubts regarding the lesson, then you can ask your doubts. Thank you.